Live show. I'm joined with Aaron Tobin from Detroit, who's a firearms instructor, also very involved with the Zionist Organization of America. And we're going to be talking about an anti-Semitic punk that went to a Jewish supermarket and started, I would say, engaging in anti-Semitic rhetoric with Jewish shoppers. And we have a little clip that we're going to show right now, and Aaron will respond to this. He's been interviewed before about this, and he has a good knowledge of the location and exactly what took place. So if we could first show the little video of this anti-Semitic punk who by
Free Palestine. Can you read this? Can you read it?
Yep.
Say it.
No, thank you.
Can you read it out loud?
No.
Why? Can you read this?
Yeah.
What does it say? What does it say?
Are you here to shop?
Yeah.
What else do you need? What else do you need?
Can you read it?
Hello, what else do you need?
Can you read this?
You want to be removed?
Huh?
I just wanted to read it, that's it.
Here, I read it. Here. There is no Palestine.
يلعن أمك.
يلعن عمك.
يلعن عارك. يلعن شكلك. There is Palestine, حبيبي.
So what?
There is Palestine.
So what?
Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that shit?
What are you talking to yourself?
No, I'm talking to the camera. There's
What? You're not even look at you.
There's no Israel. Look, I'm wearing.
But beautiful.
Al-Aqsa. It's the truth. Free Palestine. It
So
is.
what? Who cares?
What do you mean?
You have nothing to do in
You
your
don't
life.
care. You don't care,
You
but I
come to
care.
Okay, so Aaron, the guy's name is Abdullah, goes by another name on social media, Abdullah Mala, has a large following on social media. He had about 700,000 likes for that clip. He makes it clear that he's targeting Jews. He writes that on his social media. He's from Yemen. What could you tell us about what took place? You know the area, you know the community there. What could you tell us?
Well, this is, it used to be called One Stop Kosher Market. Now it's called The Grove. There's a few Grove markets in multiple cities. It's a one-stop kosher market. You can get anything you need there from soup to nuts. And this is where the vast majority of the Jewish community buys their kosher products or shops for their food. And he walked in there looking to make a sensationalized video for, I guess, his YouTube or his Twitter, Instagram followers. And he was actually, in a sense, terrorizing shoppers because they were very offended and didn't know how to handle this being approached in this, in what should be a safe environment. Here's a woman by herself. I don't know if she had her kids with her, but she's shopping for her bread, her eggs, maybe a gallon of milk, and wants to go home. And here she is accosted by this guy shoving his phone in her face, asking her, demanding that she read this, and then getting upset when she doesn't. So he's definitely trying to intimidate and terrorize to a degree the Jewish shoppers that were there. These are Jews that are American Jews living in the suburbs of Detroit. These are not people involved with the government in Israel. These are not people that have any say in the day-to-day runnings of the state of Israel or what happens in Gaza.
Right, exactly. And apparently he's from Yemen, and we know that the Houthis in Yemen are very anti-Semitic. In fact, they have a slogan, death to Israel, curse the Jews. And he's from Yemen. So it seems like it's part of the upbringing from many who are from Yemen. We have a little clip from memory regarding kids, how they're indoctrinated and what they're saying in Yemen right now. If we could show that clip and then you could respond and then tell us what the feeling is of the overall community. I'm sure this Shabbat people are talking a lot. Let's see that clip.
جئنا نزور إلى هؤلاء الشهداء، نرسل رسالة لهؤلاء الأعداء، نقول لهم أننا حاضرون مع أي مواجهة للأعداء سواء في الداخل أو في الخارج، حاضرون للتضحية، مشتاقون للشهادة، وأسلحتنا التي ذاقوا منا طعمها وعرفوا في الميدان شدة بأسها لا زالت بأيدينا، إن عادوا عدنا.
Aaron, how large is I don't know if you know, the support for the Houthis in Detroit? It's a large Islamic community there.
Well, Dearborn, Michigan, which is about 15 to 15 minutes, 20 minutes away from Oak Park, Michigan, has the largest Arab population outside of the Middle East. The largest Arab population outside of the Middle East is 15 minutes away from us in Dearborn, Michigan. We know for a fact they have Hamas operatives, they have ISIS operatives, they have fundraisers for various PLO organizations. They have a summer camp here in Michigan where their kids are taught to shoot weapons, machine guns, ARs, various weapons, and the boys and girls are taught to go out to campuses like Michigan State University of Michigan, Wayne State University, and lead BDS and an anti-Israel propaganda on campuses. So I kind of doubt this kid has ever been to Yemen. His parents are probably from Yemen. He lives in his parents' basement, either in Dearborn or St. Clair Shores.
Right.
He is, like you said, he's a punk. But the problem that you run into with kids like these and people that are so viciously anti-Semitic, Jew haters. Anti-Semitic is a term the Anti-Defamation League likes. Let's call it what it is, and it's Jew hatred. This guy wasn't going in to have a conference with some diplomats from Israel. This guy was talking to American citizens that were Jews, and he hates them because they are Jews.
Right.
One of the biggest problems is that ISIS and these other Arab terrorist groups like Hamas are very popular on social media, and they are very sophisticated in using social media to recruit members and to use it as a tool to find targets. And I don't like that they're able now to see how easy it was for him to walk into the grocery store. He did edit out a lot of the confrontations. He made it look like he was a big hero and he got in bases, but he was confronted, but in a nice way, because we are Detroiters here. We're the Midwest, and we're not rude to people. So we were told, most people just said no thank you and walked away, but he was confronted a couple. He did leave the Israeli at the end, who did confront him and told him there is no Palestine. But the biggest problem is what ISIS, what Hamas, and other PLO organizations will do with this video. And I don't want them to see us as a weak target, as a soft target, as it's called in the business, like the grocery store in Paris that was invaded by, in 2015, where Muslim Arab terrorists came in and killed Jews because they were Jews.
Yes.
And then in 2019, in Jersey City, New Jersey, Again, Arab Muslims came in to kill Jews in a grocery store. These people shopping in Oak Park in the grocery store and in Southfield, Michigan, they remembered these attacks. They saw the blood on the floor in the grocery store. It triggered that memory right away. And I wanted to make clear to this young man and to the Arabs that might be watching this, and if ISIS and other PLO groups like Hamas are watching this, Detroit is not a soft target. I'm a CPL instructor. I've taught, there was at least 3 people in that store that were armed, and I had taught them personally.
Mhm.
And we are, the Orthodox Jewish community in Detroit is armed, and we are willing to defend ourselves and our family and our institutions. And if anybody has any ideas of coming to Detroit to cause any problems, they will be met with the appropriate force to stop whatever
Absolutely.
nefarious plans they have.
It's according to the FBI, according to all police agencies, the Jewish community in the United States, in Canada, worldwide, is the most targeted group for hate. When you mentioned Paris, I'm reminded of the attack that happened at the Jewish supermarket in Paris where they murdered Jews. I'm reminded that Jen Psaki, who's now the spokeswoman for press secretary for President Joe Biden, she was also the press secretary for Obama back then when that occurred. And she played it down deliberately, making that it was not an anti-Semitic attack. And the Obama regime played it down that it was not an anti-Semitic attack. So we're like on our own, that we have to take care of ourselves, because the so-called progressive movement, it seems, will not call out anti-Semitism, especially where it comes from. It is so rooted in so many Islamic countries. They teach it. It's exposed regularly by organizations like Memory and other organizations that do great work. But sometimes when you even try to expose this, you're being accused of being an Islamophobe. So Jewish blood is not cheap, is the message with the progressives. Shut up and don't say anything. But we can't do that. We have a clip of a basketball player from the Miami Heat, who today on a live broadcast made a vicious anti-Semitic statement. Let's run that. Let's get your reaction, because this is really alarming. It's happening on a daily basis. Jews are being targeted. His name was Myers Leonard. That's his name. Do we have that video? Let's see. It's coming.
Don't be fucking cowards. Don't fucking snag me, you fucking kike bitch.
He uses the word kikes for Jews. I think if there was a basketball player that used the N-word against the black community, I don't think he'd last a half an hour after it was known publicly. And right now they're still debating what to do with this player when it comes to Jews. It's unbelievable. So what is the feeling in the Detroit Jewish community after this happened at the market? What do you hear in the shuls? What do you hear from the community? Because it must have gone around.
Well, it did go around, and my previous, I was interviewed on another podcast, but I've been on the news here in the past also. Things related to the Jewish community and defending the Jewish community and the land in Israel. When there were massive protests this summer with Black Lives Matters, Antifa, they were burning down cities, they were burning down suburbs, they were defacing synagogues. Several people in the community called me and said, Aaron, what are we going to do here? We're very close to the black community physically, and Dearborn is 15 minutes away. So I got 25 Jewish men together. Some of us are concealed pistol holders and some are not. and I coordinated with the city, the police departments in Oak Park, Southfield, and West Bloomfield. And we told them, we're going to be your eyes and ears for the next few nights. We're going to be watching the synagogues, the Jewish stores, anything with a Jewish flavor, most of the synagogues and yeshivas, and the Jewish schools. And we posted guards mostly in our cars watching the facilities until about 5 or 6 in the morning. And we did that for 3 nights until things started to calm down. Thankfully, nothing happened in Detroit. We might have stopped one assault on a yeshiva where at about 2 in the morning, a car pulled into the yeshiva lot, which is very unusual. And then when he saw me sitting there, he started asking me for directions. Like, you got 4 or 5 people in the car and none of you have Waze or Google Maps. It was very suspicious. And so people are concerned, but there is a lot, most of I think the Jewish community, I would say here, is concerned, and they're taking some action. As a concealed pistol license instructor, if I was able to work 24/7, I would have students, because right now people are afraid of the climate. The defund the police thing is ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Now in New York, the mayor's wife is asking people to intercede. Like, wait, you had police to intercede. I'm a private citizen. You want me to go out when a guy's pulling a knife on another guy and step in? And what authority? Under what authority do I have? What's my liability now? So people, it's crazy times as far as self-defense. And I teach in my class, you are your own first responder. You are your own first responder. It might be a while till anybody comes and helps you when something happens. Most of the time when something happens, people say 2 things. I never expected it to happen to me, and I was all by myself. There was nobody there for me. Mm-hmm. So people are arming themselves. They're taking classes. They're taking self-defense. They're taking advanced courses. I've taught 3 people from various synagogues to be able to carry on Shabbos and holidays, and they are carrying. And it's a higher level of carry. I don't recommend that somebody just carries to the synagogue unless they know the basic fundamentals about what happens in a crowd situation. You have to know what is your target and what is beyond your target. I think of people that carry in public should at least practice once a month or twice a month before you carry in a synagogue type situation. But I would say most of the rabbis here are friendly towards people either carrying or having an armed guard in the synagogue.
Good.
But unfortunately, what happens with time is people get lulled into a sense of security. They forget what the riots that happened only a few months ago. They forget the shootings that happened in 2015 and 2019 in the grocery stores. They get complacent, and then boom, it happens again. So we have to be ever vigilant. Absolutely. And something like this basketball player that could say "kike bitch" and get away with it.
Yep.
If anyone would have used the N-word and said "N bitch," their career would be over. There would be nobody investigating and let's look into this and let's form a panel. Over. All his endorsements, anything would be over. The guy would never play basketball again. He'd be somewhere in Brazil on some Brazilian basketball team. So we have to be ever vigilant. And thank you to this basketball player for reminding us about the Jew hatred that is a constant in this country. But thankfully, we have it fairly well. And we do have the rights in most of our states. And unfortunately for our friends in New Jersey, our friends in Canada, our friends in Paris, they can't carry a concealed weapon like we can in Michigan right now.
Right.
So be ever vigilant. And thanks for the reminder, Mr. Basketball Player.
Let me ask you, have any politicians in Detroit or Michigan spoken out against that anti-Semitic punk from Yemen?
No, we have, no. Let's just say no. And I doubt they're going to.
I think you have Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib in.
Yeah, she's in Dearborn. She's 15 minutes from me. Exactly. She is one of the biggest Jew haters there is. She's not speaking. If anything, she's going to have this guy over for lunch, and they'll share a few laughs together.
Yeah, no.
We have a Congressman Levin.
Okay.
He's horrible. He's Jewish and absolutely worthless as far as what he does for the Jewish community and for Israel. He's actually turned into an anti-Israel BDS supporter. He's It's a shame what he's
We have
become. It's
enemies from
really
within.
taken a sharp turn left.
Yes. Listen, Aaron, I want to thank you very much. We're going to show this tomorrow night on our show. We have some people watching it live right now as we speak, but we're going to be uploading this to our show that's live tomorrow night. We have a phone in, people will be calling. It's just unfortunate that you're not available for the Wednesday night show. You got commitments, but I want to thank you for coming on. We'll have you on more often on our show. We have it every Wednesday night. We might expand it to have it a couple times a week. And we're dedicated to exposing the threats to the Jewish community and speaking the truth.
Thank you for having me. To people watching, be vigilant, be active, don't be afraid to speak out. The biggest thing that these people hate are being exposed for what they are and shining the light on them, the light of truth. And all these liberals that say, oh, you got to be kind to everybody, and if you think you're one thing, you should be respected for something. How about a little respect for the Jewish people? You know, we've been around for a few thousand years. Your justice system is based on our justice system. How about a little respect for the Jews and stop calling us kike bitches and coming into our grocery stores terrorizing us? So be vigilant, be proud, and good luck to you all. Thank you for having me.